Hello everybody, happy New Year's Eve to all you wildcats out there. It's me, the Vern here from the Cinema Recall podcast. Recording this video really quick before I head out to visit with some friends for tonight. Hope you're all having a great night, be safe and all that. I wanted to list my top 10 movies of 2019. Gonna be really brief with this video, not gonna talk too much about these movies, but let's go with it right now. So, a few honorable mentions I have to mention. These are movies that are all really good, but just did not quite make my list. They make your list. But my honorable mentions for 2018 is The Beach Bum. And then we have The Irishman, Uncut Gems, Brightburn, Us, Marriage Story, and then Ready or Not. So those are my honorable mentions. Movies that I think are fun. They're not perfect, but still great movies all around. Marriage Story and Irishman I know are going to be up for Academy Awards, and they're really good. Just did not quite make my list. So here we go. Number 10 of my best 10 movies of 2018. It is The Lighthouse. William Dafoe and Robert Pattinson are freaking amazing in this movie, which plays like a very dark R-rated version of The Twilight Zone. I think Robert Eggers improves greatly over his debut feature, The Witch. Highly enjoyed The Lighthouse just because of how bat-esque crazy it gets, and I enjoyed every crazy minute of it though. So yeah, number 10 is The Lighthouse. At number 9, switching gears slightly, is Rocket Man. This is the biography about Elton John, and I love the fact that it is done like a musical, where each song is performed in that style to help explain Elton John's life, where he was at that time. Great movie. Taron Egerton does a wonderful job at sounding just like Elton John, not only speaking wise but singing wise. Really great feature. At number 8 is Elita, Battle Angel. Written and I think co-written and produced by James Cameron and directed by Robert Rodriguez. This movie is really cool and one of the best anime adaptations I have seen in a while, probably since Speed Racer, that was done by the Wachowskis, I think in 2006, I believe. I'm not quite sure about the date of that one, but really fun movie. The CGI work is incredible, and I want to see more movies, but this one didn't do that well at the box office, so I doubt we'll see another Alita Battle Angel, but I wish we did. Number 7 is John Wick Chapter 3, and this franchise just keeps getting better and better. The first movie, John Wick, is a classic in its own right, and then each movie they keep building on the world and on the characters, and there are some great sequences. I love the moment when John Wick is being chased by people on motorcycles and he hops on a horse, and so they're having this whole big horse and motorcycle chase. It's great. One of the characters uses dogs to attack people, and there's like this whole big fight sequences with like attack dogs. It's freaking awesome. In fact, tomorrow I'm going to be watching this on one of my good friends' big screen TV. She has like a huge projector screen, and me and a whole bunch of friends are going to get together and watch John Wick, and it's going to be amazing. Watch the whole trilogy of John Wick. At number 6, we have Joker. Joaquin Phoenix is just wonderful in this film. Todd Phillips' direction is also really great, and I heard a lot of people say they can't like this movie because they don't like the character. They feel like this movie is just going to be added into a lot of people's mental problems, and it does a bad job at exploring people with mental issues. And this is a movie about a fictional cartoon character. It's a comic book character called the Joker, and they're just making it a little bit more realistic. I'm talking about the filmmakers and Warner Brothers Studios and Joaquin Phoenix. They're just doing a different take on that character, and you don't have to like a main character of the movie to like a movie. Case in point is A Clockwork Orange. I do not like Alice in that movie, but yet I still enjoy watching the movie. I think it's one of the best movies of all time, but I don't like the character. So, case in point, you can watch a movie, not like the main character, but still like the movie. Therefore, I like Joker very much. And I think that it's brutal, but it's meant to be brutal. And I enjoy it immensely. Coming in at number 5, another brutal movie is Climax. This is the latest feature from Gaspar Noé. It was done like Irreversible, Love, Enter the Void. And Climax is about a group of dancers who one night at a party unwillingly take LSD and they all descend into hell. And it is hard to watch, but yet so beautiful to watch too. And I know that sounds deranged, but I just really heavily enjoyed this feature. In fact, I said before, I said again, I'm going to show my friends Climax and then Cats because they're both the same damn movie. So yeah, Climax and Cats would just be a great little double feature. Coming in at number 4 is Knives Out, Rian Johnson's latest mystery. Rian Johnson, of course, has done Brick and Looper and Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. I really enjoyed this movie. And this movie works well because you have such a great cast. You have Daniel Craig, and you have Jamie Lee Curtis, and Michael Shannon, and Don Johnson, and Anna de Armas, and just a whole slew of other great people. I was listening to the St. Paul Filmcast, and I highly agree that Daniel Craig's character should be in more movies. If he's going to stop doing Bond, start doing these movies from now on. I would love to see more mystery movies with this character that he plays in Knives Out. So that's my number 4 is Knives Out. Number 3 is Parasite. Parasite is the latest movie from Bong Joon-ho, who has done Snowpiercer, and I believe he did The Host. And this movie is even more of a really well done mystery story than even Knives Out. And the basic premise of Parasite, it's about this poor family whose son gets a job doubling as a English tutor for this rich family. And while there, he decides to get his sister a job. And then they both decide to infiltrate their whole family into this rich family's home. And it's great. And you don't know exactly where it's going to land. And it's a movie where you're kind of like on one person's side, and then it switches, and then soon you're on the rich family side. It plays with class in just a ways that is just brilliant. I hope they never remake this in English, but I know they probably will. And I just don't think it's going to be as good as the movie we have here. But I could be wrong. But right now, Parasite is just really high up there. That's my number 3. Coming in at number 2 is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Quentin Tarantino's love letter to films of the late 60s, early 70s with Margot Robbie, Brad Pitt, and Leonardo DiCaprio. And I know a lot of people say that there's not much of a story going on, which I have to disagree with. Actually, if you took each of the characters and made their story full without cutting back and forth between the other stories, you would have a very full story in this movie. And I just like the way that it presents it in a way that's not a story, even though there is one. It's like a story where you have to like see it later on, and I just thought it was absolutely brilliant. So yeah, my number 2 spot, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Great production design, great music. That last 20 minutes is what really wins me over. And I gotta say, it put a tear to my eye when I saw the movie in theaters for the first time. And I saw the movie three times in theaters. Still managed to be a really great movie. So that's my number 2. Number 1, my number 1 movie of 2019 is Jojo Rabbit. Taika Waititi's satire about Nazis in the 1930s. And I know a lot of people feel uncomfortable laughing at certain situations, but I gotta say this, Taika Waititi knows very well how to balance humor and heartfelt drama in sometimes the same scene. And I gotta say, I was laughing at a lot of this movie, but he sets it up where you are laughing at the Nazis, all right? You're not cheering for them, you're laughing with them, you're laughing at them, okay? And I think this movie goes to show how young people were being brainwashed by the Nazis. Because in the 1930s, the Nazis were as big as, like, the Avengers. or something. And to actually show how that can be done and how people can be influenced by it is really kind of cool. Shout out to Scarlett Johansson, who for sure will pick up a best supporting actress nomination. I know she'll pick up a best actress nomination for Marriage Story, but I hope and I believe she'll be nominated for best supporting actress for Jojo Rabbit because she does a really great job playing the young boy's mom. And the young boy in that, I think his name is Rowan Griffith or something like that. I'm gonna mess up that name, but my God, was he really good? This movie makes you laugh. It's gonna tug at your heartstrings. It's everything I want in a movie and then some. A movie that makes you cheer, it makes you cry, it makes you angry, and makes you just all waves of emotions were going on in Jojo Rabbit. So that is my pick of the best movie of 2019. A couple movies that I know I missed out on this year, and I feel bad about that. Little Women, Greta Gerwig's adaptation, is one that's been on my list, and I just didn't get a chance to see it in time for this year, so I will check it out by the time the Academy Awards come out, because I'm sure it'll pick up some nominations there. Apollo 11 is a documentary I wanted to see in theaters, but I wanted to check it out in IMAX, and I just never got a chance to see it in IMAX because I was busy. Bliss is a movie that I heard talked about on the podcast Movies, Films, and Flicks. Went and saw the trailer of that, and holy effing S, that movie looks insane. It just looks really BS crazy, and I fucking love it, so I definitely got to check out Bliss. And of course, my other anticipated movie from last year that I wanted to see but never got a chance to was In Fabric, the movie about the killer dress. Looks insane. I love it. So anyways, folks, that's going to wrap up this episode right now of Cinema Recall. You can check our audio podcast, as always, on Anchor and on Spotify and Stitcher and Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Just search Cinema Recall Podcast. We are available on Twitter at cinema_recall. And then on Facebook, Instagram, just type in Cinema Recall Podcast. Anyways, folks, that's it right now for my little video of the best movies of 2019 before I head out for New Year's Eve extravaganza. I hope you all are safe and Happy New Year and have a great night. And I'm going to say goodbye now. Goodbye.